Well, it looks like somebody already ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys. One card, full combo, FTK that is super consistent. Hey now, Future Logan interjection here real quick. We're breaking the usual schedule. We'll get back to the usual Wednesday uploads next week, but this is picking up steam. This topic in particular, I saw Robbie Cole talking about it. The cat's out of the bag, meaning we gotta let everybody know about what's happening with these one-card FTKs. Spread the word so Konami does something about it. Now let's check it out. Alright, my friends, I don't know if you knew this, but even in Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys format, Magical Scientist, despite being 95 points, is still a one-card FTK. I'm going to show you how the FTK is done, and then I'm going to show you how you can make it as consistent as possible in a clean-cut 40-card deck. I cannot take credit for this build, but it was sent to me in a replay from my boy, the Edge 4. And here it is, normal summoning Magical Scientist, or however you get to it. You may even be specialing this from deck with one of the sub-engines. All you need to do is stick this guy on the field, and you are going to be able to FTK your opponent. First thing you do, if you only have the Scientist, is go for a 5. And the first thing you're going to summon is the Garden Rose Maiden, which is going to grab the field spell Black Garden. I'm going to flag this right now. It doesn't matter how many tokens you give. You will be destroying this at some point, but your opponent only needs at least one. That's all that needs to happen. As long as there's at least one token on the field, you're fine. But you go through the Scientist effect, going up into a 7 using the Ancient Fairy and the Alvine, which is a tuner level 2 fusion. And that gives you your Ancient Fairy Dragon. Then you go 2 more deep into Theseus and Hugin, and that's going to give you your next 7, the Empress of the Blossoms. I'm going to pay another 1,000 here to summon another Alvine. You are going to use all 3 in this combo. But again, at any point, you could use the Ancient Fairy Dragon, blow up the Black Garden. That is going to search you, one of the main field spells that also gives you access to this combo, but also what's going to give you the 1,000 extra life points that you need to do to complete the combo, because you need to pay with Magical Scientist 8 times to accomplish this FTK. But after you resolve the Ancient Fairy, you're then welcome to overlay it into our main FTK enabler, the Red Eyes Flare Metal. You can trip this guy off after you gain 1,000. You can pay 2,000 more. You're paying, again, 8,000 total. And you're going to be summoning one more Theseus and one of the Lyrolusk Independent Nightingale. When you have the Theseus, that's going to give you a 6 with your Magical Scientist. Last thing you're going to use it for is to go for the Mind Castlin. And this has an effect when it's Synchro Summoned. You're going to use it and your last Alvine to go into Beals. Very important that you summon Beals, because this is what's going to enable the FTK. When this card is sent, you swap control with Beals with any of the single tokens that you summoned off the Black Garden, giving control of them to the Beals. Then you can activate the Lyrolusk's effect. This is going to burn them for 500. When they get burned for 5, that's going to trigger Beals to gain the attack. Yes, this does activate, and yes, that does trigger the Flare Metal Dragon, which will burn for 5 in exchange, triggering the Beals again and infinitely looping your opponent for all of their life points. That is indeed a Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys one-card FTK with Magical Scientist, which begins the question, does Konami need to ban this? Let me show you. Maybe the answer to that question is yes. Okay, everyone, this is a deck list that I constructed working backwards from a replay that the man, the myth, the legend, Eddie sent me to deconstruct this deck and expose the one-card consistent FTK in Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys format. Magical Scientist is a full combo FTK, and there are multiple ways to get to it. In this build, you can see we're playing a mix of going first and going second cards. We're playing back row blowouts, but the majority of the focus is spent on going first and comboing through the Magical Scientist play. Our supporting cast features cards to rip out hand traps, exchange, taking carriage rolls, drag down into the grave, ripping out ashes. Whatever the opponent's choosing to play, we can take it out of their hand. Although I will flag that this deck does not lose at all in any way to DD Crow, which is one of the most common hand traps that sees play in this format. And the essential combo pieces for this list is only 96 points. You need the Scientist and you need the Lyrolusk. Meaning that you can stick this guy at 100 and solve all your problems instantly, just like that. So we may very well see that in a future ban list if Konami catches wind to this combo's existence. But the big important thing that I want to mention, we have some obvious ways to get into the Magical Scientist, like Where Art Thou, with Souls on Field, can grab you Scientist, and then full combo. One that may be less obvious but was news to me is the Allure Queen package. Palace, Dance, either one of these are full combo. Because once you have Palace on field, you're going to be able to tag out an Allure Queen combo into a Magical Scientist on board. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. Last thing that I'll mention in the main deck, the bridge for Small World, you can use the regular Allure Queen, go up into the Chaos Allure Queen, and then that'll get you into Scientist. The last thing that I want to show you is how Allure Palace and the Allure package facilitates your full FTK. Either the field spell or the continuous spell is capable of getting you there. And all you need to do is activate your field spell, pitching a card from your hand. First, you're going to stick an Allure Queen on the opponent's side of the field. Then you can use its effect one more time. Then you can use its effect on the field, targeting the Allure Queen that you gave to your opponent and equipping it to your monster. Then all of your Allure Queen monsters gain this effect based off the field spell. You can send them to the grave to special summon a spellcaster that has 1500 or less attack from your deck. And what is that? Of course, go figure, Magical Scientist, aka the Allure cards give you your full one-card FTK. If you think this deck is broken and should be banned, let me know in the comments section down below. Are you going to give this a try? Are you afraid to run into this? Smash the like button to raise awareness for the fact that Konami needs to ban this. And I've got a download link to this deck in the description if you're cruel enough to use it. That's all I got. Logan, JYA, signing off. A great day, and I'll see you beautiful people later. Peace.